Wall Street Memes Casino,
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.
This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV. Delighted to be joined all the way in the Middle East by Mr. Spencer Brown. Well, it took us about 10 minutes of fucking about there, but we got there eventually.
Yeah, I didn't think we was going to do it. Me Chinese is on the way as well.
What have you ordered? Is it like a big John Fisher order?
A couple of spring rolls and a bit of a few noodles, bit of noodles. That'll do me.
Nice. Well, listen, it's not even the week.
So I still can't hear it properly.
Can you hear me?
Jeff. Turn out. That's it. Bit more.
Yeah, can you hear me?
That's better.
Yeah?
That's better now.
Right, lovely. Okay. Yeah, it's not even Friday, so it's been less than a week. Let's just kind of flashback, Spencer, to last Friday. Heavyweight division and boxing thrown into turmoil on Friday night. Just talk to me about the process of when you found out about the situation regarding Tyson.
I was actually watching him sparring, and it was due for 4 spars. First spar went fantastic. He looked sharp as a razor. And second guy got in, I can't remember his name, it was the guy who fought, nearly beat Caballel. Big, tough, rough kid. Anyway, just normal spar, going as it was. And we heard Tyson shout, "Cut." I thought the sparring partner had been cut. I thought, please, no. Not at this stage. Anyway, come out. We just saw the blood dripping on the floor. And Shane said, I had a dream about this. I dreamt this. So we just couldn't believe it. We just everybody was in total shock. When he took his head guard off, it was apparent it was pretty bad. It weren't just a straight cut. It was like that and down there, and it was nasty. So there was no going back from it. And, the mood in the camp changed dramatically from, everybody happy and jovial. And he had 2 spars to go. He was sparring 4 people that day, 12 rounds. So, and then obviously the panic sets in, what we're going to do next. And we actually couldn't get hold of anybody. Nobody had answered the phone. I'm thinking, fucking hell. And
who was you trying to get hold of?
Everybody, anybody who'd speak to me. I was that much panic. I was obviously the Saudi Arabians, George Warren, Frank Warren, anybody who was connected to it in a big way. So obviously Turkey al-Sheikh, he had to be told, but I thought, who's going to tell him? And eventually we got hold of Dr. Khan and his first, do you know what their first attitude was? Is Tyson all right? Is he all right? Which I thought was nice,
Which no one has asked.
No, I think, look, is he all right? And yeah, he's all right. And then what we're going to do next? And I think everybody was, I think they played a blinder, don't you? I think they played a blinder. I think that they got it announced very quickly because, we had to get him to the hospital immediately because it looked like a 20-stitch job, but it ended up not 20 stitches. I think it was between 12 and 14 stitches, was it? 12, 14 stitches. And there was no internal stitching, which was the main thing we was worried about because it was quite deep. And obviously we got out of the hospital and he come back and everybody was like, it was like a morgue in their house. It was like somebody had died, and that was it.
From Friday night, in less than 24 hours, what was really remarkable and very refreshing is not only did a date get confirmed, but that video that went out with Turkey al-Sheikh, Tyson, Egas, and USYK went public on the Errol Hawani show to let people know exactly what was going on. To see Tyson with his cut eye, this is all important because it squashes all the conspiracy theories. And that went public.
We knew there'd be plenty of them. We knew there'd be plenty of them immediately. You know, it was like the Jay Battaya situation all over again. You know, so we knew there'd be a lot of conspiracy theories. What we set about doing sort of immediately was to ring Dr. Khan, and Turkey Al Sheikh was the man really behind it, or was the man who, well, get round to my office. I'm gonna ring Aaron Rouhani, and we're going to announce this. We're going to tell them what's happened. We're going to tell everybody the situation. We're not going to keep it from anybody. Everybody's going to be told. So we formulated that, and Tyson had actually gone out for something to eat. He drowned his sorrows. And I said, you better get back here. We've got a meeting in an hour. And he was like, okay, let's do it. That was it. Simple as that. So we had a conflab, me, Dr. Khan, Turkey Al Sheikh, and we rang George and Frank. And basically, let's get around there and let's get this done. And we went, there was me, Tyson, his two brothers, Shane and Huey. We went, got a car and went straight round there. And he said, this is what we're doing. So we done it, and I think it was very refreshing.
How was it decided? Obviously, there's a lot of parties involved here, in kind of everyone agreeing to the date of May 18th. But how was that decided that would be the date? Obviously, we've got to bear in mind that cut needs to heal for Tyson for a start. But how did it get to that date of May the 18th?
Well, it's a big table in our camp. We all sat around the table. And obviously, I don't know about cuts. Tyson does. His brothers do. We called some experts on it. We rang the team, Turkey's team, and we asked him, you know, what would be the available date for him? What would be a good date for him? And we had to take into consideration the IBF and all the other sanctioning bodies, you know, and there was a clause in the contract that said if anything did happen, we had 3 months. So we sort of worked it out. We spoke to Tyson, you know, are you happy with this date? And we all had a talk about it. And he decided on the date. He was very happy. They was very happy. And the next step was to speak to Alexander Usyk's team to see if they were happy. And Turkey did that.
During the day of that Saturday, which was last week, obviously before this was announced that this would be the new date for the undisputed fight, obviously Alex Krasik, Usyk's promoter, spoke to various journalists during the day, and he was pushing towards the Feb 17th card still going ahead, with Alexander Usyk possibly fighting Filip Hrgović, etc. How realistic of a possibility was that card went ahead with Usyk and whoever on Feb 17th?
I don't think it was realistic at all, because what a lot of people didn't know as well was Jay Battaya had an injury as well. So there's an exclusive there. Yeah, Jay Battaya had an injury as well. So we had the top two on the card, the main event, the second in line, both out, both with different injuries. So that's an exclusive for you there.
Wow. So if the fight with Tyson and Alexander had gone ahead, it would have been minus Battaya. Possibly British got a new opponent, possibly, but Battaya would have been out of it.
It would have definitely had to have a new opponent. Yeah, wouldn't he? I mean, you can't. But that, you know, that was, we heard about that sort of in the day. Mick's, the manager of Jay Battaya, Mick, sort of rang us and said, you won't believe this. And that was just before the spar. So we couldn't get in touch with anybody. It was like, I don't know, it was something weird had gone on then. So we got in and Tyson got in, and that's what happened then. Is, you know, just one thing led to another. It's just incredible. And the accident, I call it an accident because it was. What I saw was he threw an overhand right to Tyson, Tyson threw an uppercut, punched his own arm into his eye. A complete and utter accident. And to get through the guard and everything, it's like 1,000,000 to 1 shot. You couldn't do it with a baseball bat, with a free shot. It's incredible.
Spencer, I do need to ask you, obviously, and obviously this has died down a lot, but the initial response or some of the response from that Friday night, all these absolutely ridiculous suggestions that Tyson had cut himself or got someone to do it. I mean,
come on. We've been sitting in camp. We've done one camp after another. It's very monotonous. It's very monotonous. Nothing wrong. What went wrong in the camp at all? I think he had a cold when we got there. He had a cold, like we took a cold from England over there, and that lasted a couple of weeks. But he still carried on training. Still doing what he did. Obviously, you had to relax a little bit with it. As soon as the cold went, that was it. I mean, you saw the shape he was in, surely.
Brilliant shape, yeah, absolutely.
Look, if he was going to you're telling me, a fella of his magnitude, right? 30 fights, he's won every belt, a world champion, and he's going to cut his own eye. Hasn't seen his kids for I don't know how long. He's going to cut his. I mean, they must have got these people out of an asylum somewhere to speak up. There must be people in an asylum with a phone writing things down. It beggars belief. We were looking at some of it, laughing our heads off. These conspiracy theories. It was very funny because some of the crap that was coming out. There's old Johnny Nelson. He's got a mole in our camp. We've been digging holes everywhere because there's a mole there somewhere. We've got a geezer out with a shovel digging holes, trying to find the moles. All sorts is coming out, and there's a grass in the camp. There's an informant. It was like cold hits. We needed was the Gestapo there to find out who the grass was, but we never found them. So
is there a grass in the camp? Is there a grass in the camp?
I've got behind a couple actually. I've got behind one in particular. Yeah, I think I've got it down as a midnight. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, look, whoever was grassing couldn't have been a very good grass because he got it all wrong. Because I'm going to tell you now, Jay Pataya knocking Tyson out. It's like Mount Vesuvius falling down on an afternoon. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. It didn't even get anywhere near happening. Tyson was on fire. Honestly, I'll tell you what, after the spar, I celebrated with a cheesecake. That's how good it was. Yeah, I was meant to be on a diet.
Spencer, do you think, though, all jokes aside, do you think there is someone who's maybe loosely connected over there that is to your team that is telling things over here?
Yeah, of course I do. Of course there's somebody. I don't think it's malicious. I think it's just somebody is...
Pillar talk.
A few white lies going about, a few misconceptions, and that's what it is, a bit of pillar talk. I don't think there's any grass. I think, we know in all camps, you can't spar the best every day. You can't look the best every day. It's physically impossible. So, but I seen him a cut. He was electric. It was a Tyson I haven't seen for a long time. It was unbelievable.
Obviously, this is a frustrating situation for Team USYK. We know that. But in terms of Tyson, how is he dealing with this kind of 6 days on mentally? Because obviously it's the biggest fight of his life, which is not going to occur next weekend. It will happen on May the 18th. But how is he dealing with this himself?
Well, I think he was a little bit depressed at first. I think he was in shock. I mean, wouldn't you be in shock if you'd spent all that time in camp, you'd sparred that many rounds, it was coming to the end, and all of a sudden you get a cut? Because he was honestly, Kugan, I'm not bullshitting or telling porkies, he was looking good, really good. So, how is he now? I spoke to him yesterday. He seems in great form, great fettle. He's having a couple of weeks with his kids. He was happy. And I said, how's it, because don't forget, there's a big come down with camps, isn't there, in the fight? It's a massive come down. It's like a roller coaster.
Of course.
it's very weird. It's the whole thing's very weird. It's all over in a flash and everybody's home. You're thinking, hold up a minute, what happened there? That's what happens, and Tyson suffers from that after the fight. He goes on a bit of a downward because he's on a massive high, and he was great. He was in great form. He just said to me, "It is what it is. I'm still, I still can't believe what happened, but it is what it is. It's very unfortunate. I think he felt genuinely sorry for the Saudis because what they'd done, and how much they put into it. And I felt he thought a bit of remorsefulness that this had happened and that he never had time to really explain himself. Everybody's jumped in on him, like they always do. So I think that I think he was a bit upset with the Saudis as well because they put so much into it, And listen, these things happen, don't they? And sometimes happen for a reason, don't they, as well?
Well, that is an old cliche saying. Absolutely.
An old cliche, but it's a true cliche, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Totally agree with that. Spencer, what did you think of quite a bitter and heated exchange between Igor Klimas and Tyson Fury on that call? What did you make of that?
Well, look, obviously, when we've done the deal for the fight, they're very easy to deal with people, good people. I can't really, slag them off for that. But what I will say is this: I was really, really angry what he said, and we thought he was talking about Tyson's wife. Now that's a different kettle of fish, And to call that man a coward, bang out of order. Bang out of order. Not only bang out of order, disrespectful. The man's had a cut. So, has my opinion changed? I don't know. I mean, I think he was in the heat of the moment, but you can't talk to Tyson Fury like that. You just can't do it. It's bang out of order. I mean, do you think he's a coward?
Well, I'm not even going to answer that question. You obviously know
yeah,
the
there you
answer
go.
to that.
It'd be the most
the answer to that.
question to answer in the world, wouldn't it? That's two people. There's two people who's mentioned that. A coward. Coward of what? Because he split his. He wouldn't be allowed to fight. Tyson actually said, "I'll tell you what I'll do. Patch it up and I'll fight. I'll fight. If I can get away with it, I'll fight." How's that? He said that to Turkey USYK. We'll see what a coward I am, he said.
Wow.
And not only that did he say, what would you say if you thought somebody called your wife a bitch? What would you do?
Listen, absolutely. I think that I don't listen that situation.
Well, we haven't spoke one bit of disrespect.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's been a bit of banter between the two fighters, Rabbit and Big Belly and whatever bollocks that they, it's only bollocks, isn't it? Because but no, there's no disrespect been shown to them. But now it started, isn't it? Now there's a lot of disrespect. So let's see what happens with that one.
So May the 18th, what are the chances as chief support on that card, Big John Fury against Carl Froch happening on that?
Yeah, it's about as much chance as a sausage playing for Arsenal. So I don't know, what's it all about? What is that all about? What's Carl doing? What's he doing? You can wind John up, can't you? But he's a man, isn't he? So he's not going to back down. And I don't even want to talk about it, because it's very silly. But John will have a pop at him. So I'm telling you, I wouldn't mind betting the gloves are off, I don't think he won't stand for that very easily because he won't. He's a proper man, John. And all the others started, and Joe Egan. Joe Egan was his pal. Joe Egan was my pal. What's he doing? They were working together not long back. So, I don't know. Maybe needs a few quid. Who knows?
Okay. Well, listen, we've got obviously over the next 4 or 5 months, we've got 3 mega events coming up in Saudi. Obviously, Joshua Ngannou next month, Fury USYK May 18th, and then this card that is being proposed with Bivol and Besibiev, and also the Matchroom and Queensbury 5-on-5, which is likely to take place June the 1st, awaiting confirmation, official confirmation, but they're three absolutely mega events, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, I've been with Turkey tonight. It's a football game. It's unbelievable. The stadium that we box in got changed into a football stadium overnight. I've never seen anything like it. They broke the record today for the biggest indoor stadium in a football match. The biggest indoor stadium in a football match. It was incredible. It was something out of, I don't know, out of a book. The entrance, and what amazed me was the Undertaker walk in the middle of it. What's going on here? But yeah, look, they're not going to. He's promised me, Turkey, that he's going to really, really go to town on this big fight, this world title fight, this unification. This is the fight we all want to see. He's promised me he's going to go to work on it. So you're going to see some big stuff happening with that. And once they say something, they do it. And that's it. There's no messing about. Once Turkey USYK and Dr. KUGAN get their heads into it, that's it. There's no stopping them. And this will be very exciting.
Spencer, do you think it's likely, obviously, with these three events happening within the first 6 months of 2024, that we're likely to see 3 more events in Saudi for the back end of 2024? Is that likely?
I think definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. They do things very quickly, don't they? And they announce things very quickly. I mean, the Frank Warren against Eddie Earn thing was thought up in 2 days. Next thing, they're announcing it.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing Turkey USYK's guilty of is working too hard. And Dr. Khan, they just work too hard. That's what they're guilty of. Because and it's not any personal gain. It's all for Saudi Arabia. No, it's no personal gain with it all. It's all for Saudi Arabia. They want the biggest, the best, and they want the biggest stars here. He's become. I watched the thing on my phone yesterday. He's become #1 in boxing. Have you seen that?
The most influential list. I did see that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's #1. So he's only been in it 6 months. What about I don't know what he's going to do 2 years down the line. It'll be like it'll be the greatest of all time.
Were you on the list?
No, what am I going to? A little fat man from Hertfordshire? No, they're not going to put me on. Lives in Blackpool? No. You never know. One day.
There's an argument that you should
I'm
be
getting
on
a job
there.
as a road sweeper next week. That's me next week.
I had a little look at the list. There is an argument you should be on there, to be fair.
What for, though?
Well, you've been pivotal in this Saudi movement between the UK and Saudi in boxing. So why not?
Yeah, but all I did was walk through the door first, really. That's all I did. I walked through the door first. I was very lucky Tyson gave me the opportunity to do 2 of the biggest deals ever in boxing. It was down to him. Every bit of my success is down to him, really. So, I mean, the man's treated me like one of his family. So what can I say? You go off and do it, Spence. If you can do it, I think you can do it. There you go. There's your opportunity. Go and do it. I did it. That's it. But whether I'm in the top 50, I don't think so.
Let's put you at 51 anyway. Let's put you at 51.
Put me at 51. That'll do me. That's lovely.
51. Final question. This forfeit, this $10 million forfeit, we know this is all genuine, obviously, once it was said, but what's your reaction to that?
Oh, well, there's no way Tyson's not going to fight now. He's that tight. He's not going to give that up easily. You know what I mean? He still puts the bins out, doesn't he? Tyson, he don't spend any money. So I think it's great, isn't it? Gives it a bit of a buzz.
Absolutely.
I mean, listen, unless he gets knocked over or he gets food poisoning or something like that, there's no way he's not going to fight. Is there? Even he got cut again. I don't think he'd even consider it. This is it. You know, it was going to be it on the 17th. Just an unfortunate accident. Not his fault, not anybody's fault. You can come up with a million, did this sparring partner mean to do it? Come on. He's cut his eye open himself with a Stanley knife. Come on. That is a funny, isn't it? Of the epic proportion. There's some other ones I've heard, like somebody's punched him in the eye. His brother punched him in the eye. That was a good one, wasn't it? His brother punched him in the eye and cut his eye open. That was a cracker, that. There's been some other ones, but I just, honestly, look, we're all mad boxing fans. I'm a mad boxing fan. There's a lot of mad boxing fans, and I've got to respect them all. And we sold a lot of tickets for that, you know, for this show from England. A lot of people coming over, and what you've got to realise is, it's not just the fight; it's the mopping up afterwards, because that's what I'm here for, to mop up. You know, we've got to make sure everybody's still got the tickets, all the allocation is still there for the English people. You know, it goes into a lot of different stuff. You know, right down to officials and, you know, plane tickets, and there's a lot of things behind these, entertainment halfway through, videos. You know, people taking the photographers. Everybody is affected by this.
Yeah.
You know, yourselves. Look at yourselves. You're affected. I would have thought you'd have. I mean, you'd have definitely booked your tickets, wouldn't you?
Free flights.
There you go. You got plenty. That's no problem, is it? Hey, you're not worried about that. A few flights.
Pound behind you, Mr. Brown. Spence Brown, thank you very much. Thank you very much for talking to IFL TV and keeping us informed. Well, listen, we'll be out there in a few weeks anyway for the Joshua Ngannou fight. No doubt you'll be there, so we can catch up actually in person. But yeah, listen, whatever happened, it's done with now. New dates there. Let's move on and let's get
Everything's
on.
moved on. Let's just go to the new one. I hope all the fans are not too disappointed and they'll come back and watch it. And I just hope people support and get behind Tyson, because we've got very few world champions, haven't we, at the moment? This could be a big bolster to us, you know, the British boxing fan. But it's certainly, I can just say this, is certainly nothing untoward went down. No chance. Never will have. Never will be.
Spencer Brown, thank you very much, and we'll definitely catch up with you again soon. Go on, eat your Chinese, mate.
All right, mate. Thank you.
Go
Cheers.
Wall Street Memes Casino
I'm fine.
and Sportsbook.